Hi, I've recently learned of the most amazing acronym called GOOP. Isn't that just the most wonderful, sticky, gooey feeling that it gives you? Like your feet could just get stuck in it, like a sticky, sinking sand, quicksand. Hi, my name is Gillian, and I'm sharing my journey from surviving to thriving to plant seeds of possibility for others. So what does GOOP stand for? It stands for the good opinion of other people. But what exactly is that? It is something that has the capacity to truly control our life and our destiny. I'll let you sit with that just for a second. That something as simple as the good opinion of other people can stop me. It stopped me, and I'll share with you a couple of examples. So it has a capacity to stop us from doing things that are truly meaningful to us, or even just experimenting with things that we may want to try, we may find joy in, or find excitement in, or even having the courage to do things that are outside of our comfort zone. Understanding GOOP and whether or not you're stuck in it and how you can get yourself out of it will help you understand that it's fundamental to pursuing a life of meaning and of fulfillment. And it has its roots in fear. So fear of being judged by other people. Please drop a heart or type me in the comments if you can relate to the fear of being judged by other people. I know I can, and it has controlled my life for many, many years. Because if we feel judged, or if we perceive others as judging us, what it does is it triggers a sense in us or feeling in us of not being good enough. And what happens when we feel not good enough is that we don't feel loved. And this runs so deep inside us that I think a lot of the time we don't even realize that we are changing our behaviors or reacting in a certain way, even like to our kids or spouses or friends or even at work, that we are reacting in a certain way because of this primal fear of not being good enough. It controls your thoughts, your feelings. Those then control your actions and your behaviors, and it controls how you live and how you love. So this maybe all sounds a little bit theoretical and philosophical. So I'm going to give you an example of an experience that I had. So a good few years ago, I was doing art class, doing oil painting. And the first painting I did was painstaking. It was just the perfectionist was coming out in me. I had to get the clouds to look exactly like the picture. I had to get the trees and the mountains and the sea to look exactly like the picture. And I was so exhausted after these months spent on this painting. And I said to my art teacher, I'm like, I'm supposed to be coming to art class to relax and to de-stress. And I said, I'm ending up leaving here more stressed than I am at work. And she was the same. So she was also a perfectionist when it came to her art. And she had been experimenting with a technique where you paint really quickly. So she had done a couple of workshops with us. And then I got to art class one night and I decided I'd found my picture. It was a beautiful old car. And I thought, that's it. I'm now going to try out this new technique and I'm just going to let go. And I think for me, it was more than just letting go on the canvas. It was just me letting go of my perfectionism and my worry and my stress. So there was so much emotionally invested in this experimentation of this painting. And anyway, so I'd painted my canvas, the base color, I'd done my drawing on it, and I'd painted the most awesome sky, like all in one 3-hour lesson. I was on such a high when I got home, and I put my painting on the easel to dry, and the first person that saw it looked at it and said, "But you don't get black clouds." And this just triggered in me this like, oh, how could you say that about it? You know, you're supposed to support me. And, you know, it was just like a criticism that just went deep into my soul. And I just stopped for a moment. And I thought, no, okay, this is going to end up in an argument. So I went and I sat quietly and I thought about it. And I thought, you know what? It was such a profound realization for me that it's not about what other people think. You know, I can look at 1,000 paintings and they just don't resonate with me, and it's just not my taste, or I just don't like it. But more than that, it's about the fact that I did it because it was a journey that I had been on and I was going through, and it was something that was so meaningful to me, and it was such a breakthrough for me. And I thought, you know what? It's not about the other person. And yet, you know, having that judgment, it has the capacity to really sort of make us feel bad about ourselves. And, you know, my immediate reaction was, oh, I'm not good enough because you don't get black clouds. Well, it's painting. And that's how I wanted to paint it, and that is how I expressed, you know, how I envisioned my creation to be. So that I'm hoping that this example you can resonate. You know, I think also exactly on top of that, it was something, you know, when you're doing something creative, you know, whether it's writing something or drawing something or painting something or going and speaking in front of some people, or you know, just whatever you're doing that you feel like you're putting yourself out there, it takes a huge level of vulnerability to do that. And in being vulnerable like that, you open yourself up to judgment. But it's something I'm going to explore a bit further in probably the next Facebook Live. But I'll leave you with a little key to how you can start the process of getting yourself out of this sticky, gooey, sinking stuckness of goop. The good opinion of other people is self-love. If you love yourself enough, you know deep within that you are enough. You don't need other people to tell you that you're enough. And the absolute magic in this is that you realize that when you are judged and when people do say comments about you or judge your work or judge your presence, judge your vulnerability of going out and putting yourself out there, that it's not about you, it's about them. They have the insecurity. You know, our outer world is just a mirror of our inner world. So what we judge other people for is what we are most insecure in ourselves. And we notice the dark side of ourselves in others, and that's where we judge. So to protect yourself, really, and to move forward and to get unstuck is to start practicing self-love and to know, regardless of what anybody says about you or to you, that you are enough. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I'm so grateful, and I will see you next Monday. Oh, please do look out for my post on Thursday. I'm going to share a text very well known, but a very dear friend of mine shared it with me while I was working through this topic of judgment so that I could get to a point of sharing it with you in a way that may resonate with you. So look out for that, because it is quite profound and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. So thank you very much. Yours in gratitude.